Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Red Divide, a channel dedicated to the greatest rivalry in English football. Of course, that's only thanks to Manchester United being involved, but anyway, just kidding. Liverpool aren't too bad themselves when it comes to the trophy cabinet, but here we go. Marquez,
At least you
how's it
know.
going? Welcome back. How you doing?
How's it going, Mark?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, good, man. How's it going? How's the holiday?
Yeah, still here, still enjoying it.
Still in the mountains?
Still in the mountains for now. Been beautiful. Too bad it's almost over. Back to reality, you know?
All good things come to an end, right?
Yeah, just like
One of
Liverpool's
those
little
things.
five year stint of winning some trophies. That ended last year.
You can only be hopeful, eh?
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Oh, you cracked me.
So, did you see we finally unveiled Hoyland?
I see. A good signing. How many games you think you'll play? How many goals you think you'll score?
I think he's going to play most games. Unfortunately, we signed him and he's already injured. Well, he was injured when we signed him. He got injured during Atalanta's preseason. So that's a bummer. That's probably why it took 2 days to do a medical. But anyway, yeah, I think he's young, he's hungry, he's tall, he's strong, he's really fast as well, which goes a long way. So yeah, really happy with that. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, very excited. Can't wait for him to start and get involved with the rest of the attack. I think he helps fill that void that we've had for a long time. We really needed a number 9. And now we have one. He's a little young and a little inexperienced, but man, so good to see we have a number 9. I think he'll work wonders and he'll play most games. And let's just hope he can contribute, which I'm pretty sure he will. I'm pretty positive.
So, how many goals you think you'll score this season?
Well, depends,
Yes, for
man.
sure.
Our wingers, Rash and Anthony, they're not used to having a proper number 9. They're not used to supplying a striker with
Yeah, of course.
good balls. They're used to going for goal themselves. So maybe in the beginning they might still do that a lot, a little too often, and then get used to it as the season goes. But I think as they learn to play together, which may take some time to form that chemistry, I think he'll score at least 15 goals in all comps, which isn't too much to ask, I think, even in your first year. Um, I'm hoping he gets closer to 2025, but at least 15.
At least 15. And how many games you think you'll play throughout the whole season across all the competitions?
So, I mean, if you have a successful season, you're playing roughly 60 plus games. If we
Right?
play 60 plus games in all comps, if he
And that's going to
plays,
all the finals.
yeah, I mean, even getting to quarters and semis, I think it's 66 or somewhere around there is if you make it every final. So, say we make 58 games for argument's sake. So, you then quarters and semis. Um, I hope he plays at least 48 of those. So, only 10 shy, where maybe the Carabao Cup, put someone else in, let a youngster come in, or let maybe Sancho isn't playing as much and put him in through the centre. But he's got to play 80% of the games.
Okay, that's quite interesting. I've got some fun facts for you.
Yeah.
So he made his debut for Denmark in September 2022.
How many
Played
goals did he score
six,
on
scored
his debut?
six. Now that record is phenomenal.
Do you know how many goals he scored on his
I
debut?
don't know about his debut. I didn't look at each game. Did he score 2 or hat trick?
I believe it was a hat trick. I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I saw the stat that on his debut he scored a hat trick. It'll be funny if it's nowhere near that. Everyone's looking at me like, "What are you talking about, dude? He scored nothing." Pretty
Everyone's
sure it was a
laughing.
debut.
The
Yeah.
typical Man United supporter making statements here and not checking his facts. So yeah, fun fact: 6 games, 6 goals. That's pretty incredible for the international team. Denmark, it's decent outfit. Before that, when he started his career, he started out at Kopenhagen. He played 32 games. He managed 5 goals, which isn't so bad. It started in October 2020. Then from there, he moved to Sturm Graz in January 2022 until August. He only played half a season. He played 21 games. He still managed 12 goals, which was pretty good
Okay.
considering it's only half a season. It's starting with a new team. It's never easy. And then from there, Atalanta scooped him up in August 2022, had him for a year. He made 34 appearances, scored 10 goals. So the boy's got potential. He's definitely got potential to grow. He's young. He's only 20 years old. He's big. He's 6'3". He's tall. He's strong. He's got a good left foot. He's way too good to play for Man United. I don't know. Poor decisions from that kid. He could have gone to any other team, but alas, you guys managed to get him to sign on the dotted line. So yeah, well done for that.
You know what's so good about Hoyland is he's a United fan and always has been. We are his boy club. He loves us. So once we were in for him, he only
Oh
wanted
yeah,
United. So that goes a long way. Funnily enough, the dude's so confident, and of course, when you're young, sometimes you can be confident or overly confident. I saw him
of course.
compare himself, just as in as a person, to Haaland. Of course, he's nowhere near that. He's much younger and hasn't achieved what Haaland has or near that pedigree yet. But he says naturally, as they're both Scandinavian, he's being compared to him already. So he says, "Yeah, sure, we're both tall, we're both big and strong." Um, he says I'm really fast, and we both left-footed. He's like, so we have very a lot of
And they both got
similarities.
a way about themselves as well. Yeah,
Correct. They both have a bit of confidence. They both have that demeanor of I'm the man, which is great. Zlatan had that, and also another Scandinavian. So
exactly.
yeah, we'll see. Those are big shoes to fill to get anywhere near Zlatan or anywhere near Haaland. Um, but I have faith. I know Eric's got
Sure.
such a good track record on signing. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I think he'll turn out good. We need a number 9, and couldn't be happier that we signed him. So we're off to the races. Let's go.
Yeah, he's a good. I'll tell you what, Ten Hag's a good disciplinarian. All of the people coming in are playing for the shirts. It's not about the money anymore. He's transformed your club, which is actually shit to see. I would have preferred it if Solskjaer was still there. That was way more entertaining.
Uh,
But yeah, the reality of it is Ten Hag. He's a decent manager, and you guys can only get better, which is good for the
cool.
Premier League. You guys haven't competed for so long, so after 10 years, you could possibly be back. Who knows?
Look, we finished second a couple times, but yeah, we weren't really in the race. It was a distant second. But yeah, this I tell you what, Eric's doing a lot of good. And like I mentioned to you, and we mentioned in the previous podcast, when we got Ten Hag, I was like, okay, now we have a real coach. Now we have someone that can really do something with us. And he's not a quick fix either. He's not, a Mourinho or a Van Gaal to come in and try and sort things out, as we say over here, put lipstick on the pig real quick and off you go. No, it's let's
Yeah,
get
of
going.
course.
Let's fix you from the ground up. And Ten Hag's doing that. He's even doing it with the youth. He's got the youth involved. He's brought so many youth over to. He brought so many of the youth over to the US tour because, like he says, we're all one team at the end of the day, and he wants the youth to play in the same way that he has the first team playing. So if they're good enough to play for the first team, and when they get promoted, it's an easy transition. They can just get in and go. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
Well, good luck. Good luck for the season. 1 week to go. Let's do this.
I'll always take some luck, but yeah, I think there's a certain red team that needs a little more luck than us this season. How's things going over there, right?
Yeah, you're right. Arsenal definitely needs all the
Ah,
luck they can get. You're right.
them too. Them too. But I was talking about those little scousers, the red scousers. How they doing?
I knew where you were going with this. I had to jump in before you quickly there. Oh my gosh.
You got any more
Yeah.
business plan?
It's a tough question because we started off with a bang. I thought that we started off with McAllister. great signing. Then we jumped on to Soboslai, great signing. And
You
then
got
we
his
had the
name down
news
now,
of
eh?
Hendo and Fab
Obviously.
going. Yeah, it's a tricky name, eh? I had to watch a couple of videos to see how you pronounce it. I
Yeah.
can't believe in the preseason the kid guys got his name wrong. Did you see? Did you
I
see it
saw that.
going
It
around
felt it
social
wrong.
media?
I saw that. Jeez.
Man, how embarrassing! That imagine that Oak when he realized at that moment he fucked up. Chronic. Imagine.
And the second they
No
walked in
bonus
the
for
dressing
him
room,
Christmas
probably.
time.
Yeah, he walked in the dressing room and the player looked and he's like, his name's that. That's not my name. What shit is that?
Who's that? Who's that? That's not me.
You bought me, you can't even spell my name right?
Oh
What's going
yeah.
on?
Shit.
Yeah.
What kind of club is this? They can't even spell. Is this England? What's happening? Oh jeez.
To
So
tell
he's a
you the
great
truth,
signing.
tell you
But
the
we have
truth,
a massive. Yeah.
I didn't expect any less from Liverpool. It's Liverpool we're talking about. You know what I mean? It's not a team that has their shit together,
Listen,
so
that's not
it's to
Liverpool.
be expected.
It's got nothing to do with the team. That's some mug that doesn't know how to put the letters on where he prints. That's the problem. It's got nothing to do with the
Yeah.
club whatsoever. Oh shit! Back to business. Before you talk too much shit about my team. So what I think is we have a massive void in the middle of the park. The the defensive midfielder, we don't have a single pivot, let alone two pivots. Fabinho wasn't at his best last season, but over 5 years he was decent. He was solid. The whole era of Klopp, we got Ellison, Van Dijk, we got Fabinho. It's the spine. It's the most important. And yeah, we haven't got this Lavia transfer over the line. The Southampton chairman, he's ruthless with business. He wants 50 million. I think for a 19-year-old that hasn't
Well, he
really
knows you have it,
proved
right?
himself, I think that's a bit steep. Well, we do have it, but our owners as well. They're not big spenders. They never have been. We've always had to. Our policy. We always had to buy younger players that are cheaper. We could never compete in the market with the rest of the teams.
Well,
That's
depends.
just what Klopp has
Sometimes,
had to work with in his reign.
yeah,
That's
for the
what he
most
did.
part of it, I agree. But look what happened last year. You guys went all out and you bought Nunes. Just like that. Bang. And you paid a lot of money for him. And we were linked with him
Yeah,
and some other
we
clubs.
spent big money on him.
Went
That's
all
for
out.
sure. No, we
Hmm.
spent big money on him, and I was surprised with that. I didn't. That's out of character for the club. They don't normally go and spend ammo like that. So I was surprised. But you know, after watching a lot of the videos with Jurgen Klopp, all of his interviews, he kept on saying, "This kid's ruthless. Wait until he starts firing. You're going to see this boy's going to be ruthless. He still needs to find his way. He needs to learn the language. But when this boy starts firing, he's going to be ruthless." And talking
Do you
about that,
remember?
now that he's got some,
Do you remember how it went when he
which one?
first signed for you guys?
Yeah, it was rough going. His shooting was he hit a couple of people in the crowd.
That's for
It was
sure.
quite embarrassing.
That was
Uh,
my going joke with you. Remember that? Like, yeah, sure, he's dangerous. He's dangerous to the
yeah,
crowd. That's where he's dangerous at.
yeah,
Oh,
you'd
geez.
never let him live it down. But I think this season it's going to come back to haunt you. I think he's going to bang in at least 20 plus goals this season for sure.
Whoa, that's a big
Um,
number. It's a big number.
well, let's go with it. Put this on record. I
Oh, it
say he's going
is.
to
Whether
bang
you like
20
it or
goals
not,
this
it's on
season.
record now.
Hopefully, no injuries. This is evidence. It's live. This is it. We can always come back and refer to what we say. So
Yeah.
yeah, I reckon at least 20 goals he'll bang. Um, it's going to be an interesting season. We weak in midfield. I think we should have recruited sooner. The league starts in a week. We still haven't
Mm,
done our business. We don't
mm.
actually have a centre defensive midfielder. Curtis Jones and Trent have been filling it in the position in pre-season, but we actually don't have anyone that's recognized for the position. So I'm a little bit worried. I'm maybe I should send Klopp a message in German and say, listen, tell them that we need the money to buy the Lavia so we can get this deal over the line because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just dragging out now. It is a position we need. If they walk away from the deal now with a week to go, that's pushing it. So I'm really worried about our transfer business, to be honest with you. Normally we do it really early. It hasn't worked out this time, and especially with the Saudi league coming in and buying loads of the Premier League players. Manchester City have been affected. Chelsea, a lot of their fringe players as well. We've lost two. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, you guys will be fine. It
We
just reminds me a
definitely
bit of
need
the
players. We
Casado
need
deal.
another left back.
Reminds me of the Casado deal with Chelsea. They're just
Yeah,
holding out, and I think you'll get there in the end. You'll get it over the line. You'll be
they're
fine.
holding out. They, you see, the thing is, Brighton don't have to sell, really. He's
Hmm.
just signed a new contract. So Brighton's looking closer to 100 for Casado. They're not going to budge at 80.
Big money.
They turned Arsenal down at 80 at last season
I
during
remember.
the transfer window. They turned Arsenal down for 80 bar as well. So they're looking more in the 100. So I think, it's just people doing good business, not letting players go for less than what they think their value is. It is what it is. It's shrewd business. It's frustrating for us, the fans, but it is what it is. Got to carry on. We just, with the Premier League going to start, Liverpool just need to go in and get a couple of players and let's rock and roll.
Well, I don't know about rock and roll. You might play some slow jazz or something. I don't know about rock and roll. Anyway, so guys, listen, yeah, give us.
Listen, it's heavy metal football with Klopp.
It's true. Well, at least it was. I don't know what it is anymore. Um, let's do a quick prediction for your first 5 games, and then you can ask me for the first 5 games, and we'll see how that all pans out. You ready?
I'm ready. So, we talking, do you want scores or do you just
No,
want.
just a result.
So, just results? Are you sure?
Uh huh.
You don't want to
I
make
don't
it more
expect you to be.
tricky
I don't
and
expect.
put score lines?
I don't expect you to be a crystal ball enthusiast. So we'll just go with a result because you're going to embarrass yourself if I ask you for scores. You're going to embarrass yourself. So you'll embarrass yourself enough for the results. Let's leave it at that.
You land
You ready?
confidence. Right, let's go. I'm ready. Let's
All
go.
right.
First
First
game.
game of the season. Chelsea. What's happening?
Chelsea away. Man, Chelsea's got a decent squad there. You can never second guess them. Last season was a little bit of a fluke, them finishing so low down the table. A lot of different changing, in terms of manager. It's a tricky one. I think I'll go with a draw.
That's fair enough. It's not bad because you don't know how they're
Next.
going to do. They have a new coach. You know what I mean? He's got to choose the best players. Poch is a decent coach, so yeah, I think that's a fair shot. Bournemouth.
He's decent. He's decent. In your way. Bournemouth. So the Bournemouth game, we're probably we've put in a request to play the game at Bournemouth because our stadium renovations are still not done. You know how it goes with these
Mm.
contractors, always taking the piss, never finish on the deadlines. So if that happens and that one goes through, we play away, I think we'll beat Bournemouth comfortably. That's
Okay.
3 points for Liverpool.
Next up, surprise top 4 from last season, Newcastle.
Newcastle away. Newcastle under Eddie Howe, he's a great manager. When he first came in, I said Newcastle are going to be danger. With the players that they had and all of the signings that they brought in, their tactics are spot on. Their organisation, how they're closed down as a unit, they work really well as a unit. You can see the togetherness in that team. So that one's a bit tricky. My mind is telling me that it should be a draw away from home, but with our track record against Newcastle, I think we're going to go with the Liverpool away win for sure.
Yeah?
What's your opinion? Yeah, I think so. Just based on our track record, over the past couple of years against them, I think we might sneak one goal advantage to take the win. What do you reckon?
I think it'll be a tight game. But I think you guys slow and strengthened enough. Maybe if Lever comes in and even then he's young, is he going to slot right in? I don't know. I think you may draw that game as well, in my opinion. Tough game, that. Ideally, I'd love to
Look,
see
it's
you
a
lose.
fair shout.
I'd love to
Like I
see
said,
you get smacked, but yeah.
of course you would. You'd love Liverpool to drop points.
Listen, your next game's not much easier
Yeah, no,
either.
it's a fair shout. It's
You got
not,
Villa
but it's at
next.
home.
Yeah, you got
So
Villa next.
yes, that's our first home game of the season against Villa. Tough game as well. Emery, he's a great manager. I rate him, and his organisation skills and how he sets up the squads, he's deadly. He is not. He's not a Malala pipe manager. He knows what he's
Yeah.
doing. So that one will
And
also be a tough game.
they've had a great window.
I think yeah, they have. They have. Even last season, what he did last season was phenomenal, man. I rate him. I think he's decent, and I think they will finish very close to top six, Villa for sure,
Well,
under
I think they're
Emery.
chasing Champions League.
But I'm going.
They're
Well,
chasing
yes, for
Champions League,
sure.
and you were linked with Tielemans, weren't you?
We were early on in the window, but I think it was just rumors. I think if we didn't anticipate Hendo and Fabinho leaving, if we did, I think we would have scooped him up sooner. But yeah, we missed out on him. But we're looking at
Well,
Harvey Barnes, not Harvey Barnes, sorry, Dewsbury Hall.
yeah.
Let's see what happens.
But, I'm not surprised he went to Villa. I think Villa have more pool than Liverpool, a little bit more of a pool, so it's fine. You would
Oh
rather be
my
a villain
goodness,
than be a
you're
scout,
full of
right?
shit.
And Kaz, no jokes. Like Villa are going places.
Listen, if
They're
Gerrard was
going
still the
somewhere.
coach, I could agree.
Villa on the up. The
They
Liverpool on
are,
the
they are,
down.
they are.
You know
They
what I
are.
mean? Let's be real.
That's just your opinion, and you're a mank. And what do you know about football? You confused, Marcus. You're on the wrong side of
Uh,
red, man.
anyway, give us your last opinion. What did you say, Villa? What's happening to Villa?
So we're gonna win at home. That will be our first home game, and we'll win against Villa. It'll be a tight
Interesting.
game. Probably win by 1 goal.
So what? There's no chance of you guys hosting Bournemouth in the second week.
I doubt it. From the updates that I read about the stadium and when it's going to be ready, no, it doesn't look like it. So that's a bit disappointing because everyone's been really excited about the upgrades to the stadium. The past season they were building the structure behind the actual stadium so that football can continue. And all they did is took the piece off the roof off, and then they joined the stadium, which is quite
Yeah,
cool. An extra 6,000
they
seats,
join it like
which is
this.
quite lekker. That
Yeah,
yeah,
push it
yeah,
up.
from the
Join it.
back. So they built the structure pretty much.
I'm
So they
just
built
giving
the
you a hard
structure
time.
behind the stadium. Yeah. What do you know about building? Jeez, you don't even know how to do Lego blocks growing up.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, last game. Let's go.
See this camera? I can put it together for you. Um,
Oh,
anyway,
please. You're gonna pay a contractor for sure.
oh yeah. The final game of your fifth prediction, yeah, is Wolves.
Wolves away. Also not an easy game. Every game in the Premier League's tough, but I think we'll win that game as well.
So
For sure.
you said a draw against Chelsea. You said a win against Newcastle
Yes.
and a win
Win
against
against
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
You
Yes.
said you said
Yes.
a win against Villa and a win against Wolves.
Yes.
You picking up 4 wins out of 5.
Yes.
Okay, 13 points from 15. Okay,
Listen, we've been scoring a lot of goals in pre-season. If we can be solid at the back, we're going to concede. That's inevitable. We're going to concede because we're not set up correctly. The Oaks are 100% not in tune. But if we'll outscore the opponent, that's for sure. We just need to try and be more solid at the back. So I've set the goals up high. I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot at the end of the season when we recap these 5 games. But I'm going for it. It's Liverpool boyki, you know what I mean? You're the best. That's how it goes. You got to believe. You'll never walk alone, cuz. Remember.
I don't even have words. I'm speechless. Can't believe what I just heard.
Let's talk about something that you know a little bit.
Hold on.
Let's
So I'm going to tell you. I think you say 13 points. I'm going to say you're going to get 7 points. You're going to win 2 and you're going to draw 1. You lose 2.
That's a fair shout. That's a fair shout.
Only
Uh,
because your midfield
a
is
fair shout.
so inexperienced. You lost all that experience. It's all gone. Um, a lot of your team are on the older side now, so you right in the thick of things in the rebuild wise. Um, and I don't think that you brought in enough yet to strengthen. And it's going to take time for all those players to learn how Klopp wants to play. Preseason's
Yeah, to
cool,
learn the
but
football
you know the
philosophy.
the league is a whole nother story. So my opinion, it's just an opinion, yeah, um, is that you guys will win two, draw one, and you'll lose two. You'll probably lose to Newcastle and Villa.
Newcastle and Villa.
Yeah, you'll draw with
Well, tough
Chelsea,
games. They're both tough games.
and then you'll lose to Newcastle, Villa, and you'll beat Wolves and Bournemouth.
Fair enough. We'll come back and analyze what I thought would happen and what actually happened, and see
Mm-hmm.
who gets closer. We got to think of some fun games, some initiation for getting it wrong. That's going to come up in the next
I don't think
episodes.
you want that because I don't think you're shaping up too good.
You're probably right. You're probably right. I'm getting on right now.
Yeah.
Right, let's go. Mark, what do you reckon? Your first 5 games, first game against Wolves. What do you reckon? You at home.
That should be an easy win. The only reason I thought about it is we seem to be playing well, but giving away silly goals. We did on preseason now very often. We give away easy goals, mistakes, and we weren't taking our chances. And the fact that Hoyland isn't fit means we still have a very similar attack to what we had last year, and we did well, but we didn't score anywhere near the amount of goals we should have. I mean, City had a better goal difference than we had goals scored. So it's night and day.
Sure.
But yeah, we'll beat Wolves. We'll beat Wolves in that first day.
Okay. I think that's a fair shot. I'll go with the win as well against Wolves. Second game, Spurs.
Hmm.
What do you reckon? Away.
Um,
Tricky fixture.
Tricky as well because the coach, the manager's new.
Exactly.
Posteglu. Um, he's got a hell of a reputation, although winning in the Scottish League, Gerrard won almost everything in the Scottish League too, and look how he fared in the Premier League. So it doesn't always translate, but even before that, he's got a reputation. You listen to how people talk about him. So we'll have to see. It's 50-50. I don't know whether he'll get all his ideas through to them just yet. But I think Spurs are Spurs. They'll always be Spurs, and they'll always Spurs it up.
Sure.
They might start the league pretty strong, but then fade away like they normally do. But um, Spurs, that'll
I
be a good
love
game
this.
actually. I think that'll be a cracker, and yeah, but I think we'll just edge that. I think we'll edge that by a goal.
Okay. So you reckon a win there, huh?
Hmm.
Next game, United, Nottingham Forest at home. What do you reckon?
That is a nice little game for us. That's a good confidence builder, I think. And yeah, I think we'll smash Forest.
Okay, fair enough. Forest, they decent though. Young squad, lots of pace. Okay, so
Yeah,
you're
they
going for
they
a win there.
actually they actually bought Anthony Elanga from us, so he'll likely play against us. Um, and good for him. He needed to get his career off to a proper start instead of sitting on the bench and playing a few minutes here and there. And yeah, he'll be their starting winger, and good for him. Hope he does well.
That's So did you guys sell him or is he on loan?
Hmm. Yeah, we sold him.
You sold him. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, good
good,
luck.
good product.
Well,
Yeah, good for him.
let him go back to Man United and score a hat trick. That would be great.
Aha, funny guy. Uh,
Okay, so what you going with the win, yeah?
yeah, good win, solid win.
Okay, fair enough. Now your fourth fixture is away to Arsenal. This one's a bit
Mm.
tricky.
At the
This
Emirates, we
one
don't have
I'm
a.
particularly interested in. I know there's a lot of the viewers that are particularly interested in, especially the guys in our Fantasy Premier League competition. So Let's hear it. What do you reckon?
Um, we don't have a good record at the Emirates of late, so it's tricky. We were very unfortunate last year, pretty much last minute that they scored to win a 3-2. We didn't have Casemiro either. The other game before that was a cup game that they squeezed in, and was it a cup game or it was a rearranged fixture and suspension. So there was actually an extra yellow that his fifth yellow, I think it was. But yeah, not good. Not good
I'm
results
just
there.
hearing
Like,
excuses here. Like, are you going to win or are you going to lose?
and the funny thing is, I've been invited to that game, so maybe I'll end up being at that game, and then we'll do a vlog for the viewers and see how it goes, and maybe we'll
Wow,
interview the Arsenal fan who's invited me. So that'll be cool. We'll see if it all
I
comes
think so.
together. But I'm gonna go. We can bang a few goals at the Emirates. We can beat them, but I'm gonna go with a draw. We just don't have a good track
With a
record there, and
draw.
I'm trying to be as sensible as possible. I'd love us to win. We can win, but I think it'd likely be a draw.
Okay, that's interesting. I
What have you got?
think Arsenal will probably. I think Arsenal will probably beat you at home. They have got a decent squad. They did bottle the season last year. It is what it is. But then you got City breathing behind you. They're inexperienced being at the top of the Premier League. They haven't been on top of the Premier League for so many years. But they got a decent squad. I think they got a good chemistry. I think they might squeeze. I think they might win that game at home. But again, it will be tight. It's very close between a draw and a win for Arsenal. Okay, but you going with a draw. Interesting. Let's go to your last fixture. The last fixture, which is at home to Brighton. This one's also tricky. Brighton proved himself last season. Their manager, De Zerbi, is also extremely incredible. His tactics, if you watch how they set up, there's always one man available to receive the ball, and
Always,
they're
yeah,
very good at playing. Always very good at playing one touch, two touch. They get the ball from the back to the middle to the wings, back into the middle, and counter attack so quickly. That's a tricky fixture. United are at home, so you do have a little bit of the upper hand. What do you reckon? How do you see this game going?
Um, Brighton's real tough. Those two games, Arsenal and Brighton, will definitely test us. See where we're at for the early stages of the season. They beat us. I think they did the double against us last year in the league. We knocked them out of the cup on penalties. I think it was. So yeah, they're definitely a hell of a good team. Fifth game of the season. Hopefully we have Hoyland by then. We do owe them. We owe them a couple of smacks for last season. It's very disrespectful of them to come over to Old Trafford and think they can do as they please. So
It's not.
they uh, they have a few smacks coming their way, but Brighton are a hell of a team. I have a lot of
Yeah, they're
respect for
decent.
Brighton. I enjoy watching them as well. It's not like they're just a huge defensive team that sits back and just grinds it out. They're a hell of a team. As you said, De Zerbi's done a hell of a job there. So
Yeah,
but that's at Old
couldn't agree
Trafford,
more.
and I'm always going to back us at Old Trafford to do a job. So we'll win that game,
Okay, you reckon?
I reckon.
You don't want to go with a draw. You don't want to be conservative. You're going to the win.
No, we're going with a win.
Okay, I think that game would be a draw, just because Brighton, they never say die team. They
Sure.
they beat most of the top six teams last season, which is pretty incredible. Um, okay, so let's do a recap. You say that your first game against Wolves, you're taking 3 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tottenham, you said you're going to squeeze a win as well, so that's another 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
Forest, you said that's another 3 points.
That's a good one, that.
Arsenal,
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal, what are you saying? A draw? You still sticking with it?
Yeah, draw.
Okay, 10 points. And Brighton, you say win as well. So you've also predicted 13 points out of 5 games, the same as me.
But there's a difference. Ten Hag hasn't lost all kinds of experience this season. It's a second season with him.
Fair point.
So
Fair point.
majority of the players know how he plays and what he wants from them. They understand his tactics. And he's building something there. He hasn't lost 3 or 4 of his midfielders. So I think we're in a really solid position. And it's the next step in our evolution under him. So, I think we will be better this year. And we now have a number 9. Hopefully he's fit enough by the 4th or 5th game. But if he's not, it is what it is. And we play with what we have. And yeah, I just think we'll have an even better season this year. Not saying we're going to go out and win everything, but we'll have a better season this year, is my prediction.
I think so too. I think Ten Hag has had enough time to bring in the players that he wants and introduce his football philosophy to the team. He also did really well with the mentality of the players and, also enforcing a pay pack, cap, which is also good. He's got people believing in the club and the shirt. So, he's installed a lot of good characteristics in the players and in the club. So as much as I hate to say it, you guys are going places. There's no doubt about it. As much as it kills me to say you have, I feel like I want to vomit right now, but I have to be honest.
I'm going to clip that up and I'm going to stick it on replay. United are going places out of your mouth. Out of your mouth.
Take it, put it as your ringtone. Every time I phone, that's what's going to come up.
I'm going to send you little recordings of you saying United are going places, just randomly. Midnight, first thing in the morning, for lunch. Here you are, boy, listen to this.
I'll have to make sure I set you up and catch you so I can have a clip of you as well. I'm pretty sure from the first episode you said something. I'm going to go and review the content there. Right, I reckon you're going to get 9 points out of those 5 games. That's my opinion.
So what's that, 3 wins, 2 losses? Who are we losing to?
To Tottenham. By 1 goal, 1-0. That's how I see it going.
Okay.
So we'll come back to the content and we'll review it. And we'll play a bit of a game with our viewers.
Sounds good. Let's do it. I think that's all we have for today, right, Kazi?
That's it. Well, thanks everyone for joining us for another episode of The Red Divide. If you're new to the channel, please like the page, share, and subscribe. All your support will help us grow the channel. And we look forward to producing more up-to-date and lively content in the future. Until we meet again.
See ya.